Hello and welcome, folks. And yeah, first of all, sorry for being absent. Yeah, for quite some days now. The reason why is that my GPU got fried or whatever, definitely died somehow, and I had to order a replacement, and that came or was arrived today, and yeah, now I'm ready again to put up some content. And yeah, let's start it with Clanbattles. And here we see DXN69 from the Row RN clan, and yeah, he's playing the Zhao, and he asked some questions regarding how this, or if I would see some improvements in their lineups, and yeah, how they could maybe perform a bit better or maybe have a smarter initial deployment. And yeah, I will go over this and will share my opinions and what I think might work better, even though I would say in general the lineup is pretty balanced, and also the initial deployment isn't bad actually. It needs a bit of improvement, but I will come to that when the situation occurs. Alright, he's playing the Zhao, and he's going towards the 9-10 line. That's at least what he wrote, and I guess that's what he's doing, and that's perfect position for the Zhao. If you look at the enemy lineup, that's always important to know. They have Yamato, Des Moines, Booster, two Henris, Stalingrad, and a Gearing. So 1DD setup versus 1DD setup. The big difference here is that yeah, GULAG, the other clan from Russia, is bring an additional radar cruiser. So that's gonna be a bit rougher for the young, I think, especially when contesting or trying to contest A. He also mentioned that he doesn't like the positioning of his Montana and Stalingrad, and yeah, maybe I could stop here for a second. There we go. So they are basically on one point, or at one point. Stalingrad is moving towards this island, and Montana stays mid. Montana staying mid is totally fine. The reason you bring a Stalingrad, though, is to establish a crossfire, and if they are sitting next to each other, then yeah, this is like practically negated. They have both good angles in this area, but nobody has angles on this area. So our team is usually using the Stalingrad in this position down south here, because then you can have crossfires in this area or sneak up here when, if possible. Of course, that's only possible if nothing that can crossfire from here is here, and then maybe shoot in this direction. So Stalingrad is kind of an additional battleship, so to say, because the guns are pretty accurate and quite punchy on broadsides, and yeah, enable a lot of nasty spots to yeah, have a crossfire going. Yeah, that's maybe a thing that I don't like that much, because on this side you have literally nothing that can enable a crossfire towards this area. So in this point, I agree with DXN. That could be solved a bit smarter. Another position for the Stalingrad could be like going through the C cap, capping it, and then move into this position, and to have shots in this area, a bit wider angle, but still the same area. What you also could do is like bring a Stalingrad here, in this position, or even in this position, and push your Montana here, if you want to go heavy on A. That's the opportunities you have, in my opinion. But yeah, let's go on. So that's what I think and what could be changed, but as I said, it's not such a big thing here, in my opinion. So the enemy already kept their home cap, the B cap. I suppose with one Henri at least, but I'm of course not sure. Could be also multiple other ships, you never know that. So as I mentioned, the Stalingrad is going into this position. Montana is staying in the mid, which is absolutely fine. Doesn't need to be close or too close. I think that's kind of an okayish position. Depends, of course, what appears up here, and yeah. Maybe a thing about the Montana. Yes, it's kind of the jack of all trades in when it comes to battleships, but especially in the Henri meta, the Montana, yeah, lost a lot of its significance because first of all, the shells are pretty slow compared, for example, to a Republic, and also the penetration is lacking, especially over range. And the spaced armor of the Henri makes it, yeah, quite hard to deal with them, especially in the Montana. So that's, for example, also a reason we use the Republic. Always these little adjustments that you use to yeah, to fit into the in the meta, or to perform well in the current meta. So the XN is still going here towards the 10 line. If I would be him, I would not go too close. So if you look at his RPF, he knows that there is something here. So at that point, I already would be pretty much warned. And instead, he is shooting the Yamato. This is a thing where I would say play it safe first before you start farming. And I would also farm HE instead of AP. Yeah, AP of the Zao is nice, but set one fire, he won't damage con it in this position, and he will burn for a while. Now he's radared, so he sees the Stalingrad. This is already alarming sign. Two Henris and the gearing are over here, so either a booster or a Des Moines is here. And in the worst case, it's a Des Moines that is like pushing up and wrecks his broadside right now. But luckily for him, that's not the case. No. So Des Moines opens up fire now, and that's too late. Stalingrad pushed in radar to get some pre-information, which is fine. Yeah, we have kind of an exposed Yamato, so what would I do here? First of all, I think I would send the Henri back, relocate this Des Moines towards the other side so he can't be shot at from the Yamato, because this is all about being safe in this Des Moines. If he starts shooting, he's probably radared right now, so yeah, this is a big issue for the Des Moines. He can't go here, he can't go here. Especially this Yamato position is quite annoying. Just for given reasons that he has shots into this area. Normally you don't want to allow this. And you want to start farming this Yamato. I think at that point I would give up A. Or not give up completely, but maybe put one Henri down in the middle and start farming him. Because he's super exposed. And that's really, really good for the farming cruiser, of course. The XN is starting to have a shootout here with the Des Moines. You should... Zao versus Des Moines on range. I mean, whenever he tries to go a bit closer and to push in, you can just kite him for days and the Des Moines can't do anything about it. So that's basically a one fight versus for you, in my opinion, in the Zao. You can torp him, you can always disengage from him, you can literally dictate the engagement, more or less. Alright, but since the Des Moines didn't push up, it's no problem to do anything. Some preemptive torps on probably the Stalingrad, I suppose. Also fine. The only thing you don't want to get, or don't want to happen, is that you get caught off guard by the radar and the Stalin pushes up and wrecks you completely. Meanwhile, the Des Moines died, but he traded with the booster, and this is a good trade. And that means that they still have equal numbers here at A. Yeah, but as I said, this Yamato was very exposed. If I would be that Montana, I would already shoot HE together with the Stalingrad. And yeah, now you see that the Des Moines is pushing. Yeah, would absolutely open up, kite into this 9-10 line area, and have my fun with the Des Moines. Whenever he wants to push out, you have your you have his broadside, so it's really problematic for him. If I would be that Des Moines, I would not even shoot actually. I would try to get into a position where I can be most effective by not being outspotted or exposed somehow. So if he goes dark and pushes up here, then he might be safe. But think before the Des Moines pushes up, the Stalingrad should push up, or this Stalingrad dies, then the Stalingrad pushes up and the Montana is in the crossfire. So there's a lot of stuff going on simultaneously. Also an A push by the Henri with the Yu Yang, which is good, that's great. If they can kill some of the or one or even both of the Henris, that's gonna be a big thing. And it does look as if this Henri is caught really in a bad position. And the other Henri goes down actually. So this is A1. That's the A cap 1. And as soon as this Henri died or the target of opportunity appears, if I would be the Henris, I would just start farming now the Yamato, especially considering the health of the Stalingrad. He has a pretty hard time there. He wasn't useful at all, I think, the whole game, or at least I would feel not very useful. And I think the XN, that was a bit too close actually, in my opinion, but okay. Yeah, that Des Moines is in a pretty bad spot. Can't angle, and now I would switch to AP. This is probably already too late. If he's smart, he hugs this island here completely and doesn't show any broadside. And what is he doing? This is bad. I mean, he could be angled against you because you missed the opportunity to pre-read what his movement will be. Of course, the Montana will shoot him, that's for sure. But yeah, I mean, he gave broadside to you and the Montana. If he would have gone like this, angled here, he could use the cover of his Yamato and Stalingrad and pummel the friendly Montana quite heavily. Instead, he went for the worst case that he could do, and yeah. Alright, now it's farming time. Now you have a pretty good position. You don't need to be worried. You should not run too far away though. Yeah, your Montana is going down. Yeah, but here the only one left on this side, so it's your job to farm. The Stalingrad has no guns on you. Yamato most likely doesn't have them either, and yeah. In that regard, you can just do your job as a farming ship. But close the distance. Closing distance is really important. Don't know if you use the legendary module on the Zao. I think it's quite helpful. Sometimes you will miss the range, that's for sure, but yeah, that's it. And also really important in this scenarios is focus fire. So if your Henris are focusing the Yamato, then you should start to focus the Yamato as well. So, because under focus fire, every ship goes down pretty quick. Yeah, that's a good position. I like that. You just wait. You don't run behind the island to have no shots anymore. As long as the Stalingrad isn't doing anything, it's absolutely a good position. Yeah, you set another additional fire. Yeah, and this is basically your game one. And yeah, I think the enemy exposed themselves a bit too much, and their group here at A was a bit too aggressive, I think, because if you put Henri here, he's in a crossfire from everywhere. This is way too aggressive for an Henri, at least in these stages of the game, what GULAG did there. So, not really recommended. And now it's just wrapping up the whole thing. Yeah, I think I was able, let me quick check the email again, not that I missed the point, what you asked. Yeah, I think the second point that you made in this, I mean, it was just things that happened during the game, and I think you didn't do anything really wrong. Maybe in the start where you were a bit too aggressive. If that Lemoyne would have been closer or maybe already pushing, you could have been dead if you would have been lucky. That's for sure. But so I wouldn't recommend to stop here to farm a ship in the middle. First of all, make sure that you or can't get surprised from here. This is really more important. Farming is the job of the Henris normally. That's what they are good at, and yeah, should focus on. All right. I hope DXN 69 that helped you out and was, I wouldn't say enlightened, but yeah, it helps you improve your clan battle tactics. And yeah, if you think so, maybe write a comment. If you have any other questions, just write it in the comments. For the rest, give it a like. Would be always appreciated. Apart from that, can I say, yeah, I'm back in business, and yeah, I think you will see some more content about over the weekend. I will be also again streaming and yeah, all the stuff that is happening usually when I have no um, yeah, dead GPU. All right, thanks for watching, guys, and see you next time.